back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. Chris Holman here, and of course you can tell I'm remote. We are not in our studios in downtown Lansing. Please forgive the background a little bit. We do have, however, very important guy, Cliff Hammond, shareholder at Foster Swift, Collins and Smith in Southfield, Lansing, and half a dozen other places. What did Buzz Lightyear say? To infinity and beyond? That's about where you guys are. Cliff, you have a very important webinar coming up. Tell us a little bit about that.
Right, we're going to go over a lot of different things that people need to look forward to next year, how to get themselves ready and prepared for 2022. We had a lot of things that were revolving around COVID last year, but there's a lot more to life than that. And obviously businesses need to get themselves refocused. So we're going to try to touch point a lot of those issues to get everybody jump started so they can get themselves on the right track and on point.
So when is this upcoming webinar, and how do people get involved?
Well, you can contact Kim Halfley at our office, and you can go directly to her at khalfley@fosterswift.com. She'll send you all the information. It's going to be online and ready to go next week, I believe on the 19th, but we're going to have other information available for you if you can't make it, and we'll be able to probably deliver something to you as far as the final package.
Well, and I think we'll probably re-perpetuate that here on the Michigan Business Network as well. So if somebody wants to get a hold of it. Okay, what are some of the, I guess, good hygiene and best practices that employers and HR teams can implement going into this year?
Well, last year we were doing a really good job. We were washing our hands like we're surgeons. I think we got away from that now. So that's one of the things we want to make sure we keep those postings up. Look, we kept the flu away. We kept COVID away because we kept ourselves clean. Hey, crack a window if you can, get some fresh air, good ventilation, get your HVAC systems up and running, make sure you got some good filters in there, and let's keep the place clean. I think that's number one.
All right, so let's talk about important things to keep in mind about reviewing and updating your business employees' handbook.
Yeah, this is a big deal. A lot of people put this to the wayside, but we've got a lot of issues. Remote work is a big deal right now. How do you do remote work the right way going forward? Not because it's mandatory, but because you want to keep people or you want to attract people. That's a big deal. We got to get that taken care of. We got to make sure we're avoiding overtime problems. We got to make sure that we've got drug policies that make sense now. Look, we got to attract people and keep people. There's new laws in Michigan about marijuana. We got to look at how we do that. We got to look at things about social media, how people are acting outside the workplace, especially if they're not there that much. And people are saying a lot of things we want to keep on top of. And just general off-duty conduct. We got to take a look at that, as well as some things that you may not have thought about the language in your handbook is going to be really under fire under the new administration about calling people's conduct disrespectful, insubordination. We got to do that the right way. You could get yourself in a world of hurt and not even know it. So there's a lot of small things that you got to tweak to keep yourself in business because you don't want to get hit with a lawsuit or a complaint on. So there's just a lot of different things that we just got to update.
So President Biden, the recent vaccination mandate for businesses with 100 or more employees, could that result in some kind of crippling fines for those who violate?
Could be big. I mean, right now you've got MIOSHA who runs in, and people have dealt with them before. They know the standard fines, but there's potentially some language up that to $700,000 potentially in some of these new reconciliation bills and infrastructure bills that could change from OSHA, the federal government stuff, which doesn't apply directly to Michigan, but we have MIOSHA, but we're supposed to follow them too and be as strict. So there's some big things that are coming down the line. So we've got to be careful in how we apply these rules. And we don't know what they are yet, but we will know very soon. And we're hoping by the end of, maybe this week or next, we'll have a little bit more idea of what those rules will be. But we have to keep an eye on multiple places, not just a single rule that comes out, but also from they're going to change the dynamics of.
So, Cliff, let's get on another channel here. Non-compete agreements, having been in the media for years, I know a little bit about those. Let's explain what they are and should businesses have one in place?
Well, a lot of businesses should have them. I always say at least think about it, right? But the question isn't whether you should, it's how broad should they be and who should you give them to? And I think it goes into what you do for a living, right? If you've got people that you don't give them any skill, and you don't provide them any inside knowledge, a secret sauce, if you will, it may not be necessary for you to do that. But if you have people that have a knowledge about what you do, how your customers work, your pricing, your business model, it makes a lot of sense to have something that says, listen, I don't care if you go out and get another job, that's fine. We can go ahead and part ways, but I don't want you to take what I've done and go out and steal my customers and go out to my, my competitors and steal that business. So as long as it's reasonable in time, so in other words, a year, year and a half, location where you do business, it's a great idea, but it's got to be done right because the federal government is really cracking down. They're looking at whether they should make those illegal, quite frankly. And what you can't do is go out and get a deal with another company and say, I won't steal your employees if you don't steal mine, because that's criminal and you might be in big hurt from the federal government bringing federal charges.
Sometimes you step in it and you don't know it's there, So we got about a half a minute left. Enforceability of non-competes. Talk about that.
Yeah, you have to make sure that it's reasonable. Bottom line is it has to be reasonable in time, reasonable scope, and against the right people, and it has to be drafted properly.
Unbelievable. Hey, always there's something out there, and most of the mistakes are made without anybody knowing their mistakes. So this is great information. Cliff Hammond, Shareholder, Foster, Swift, Collins and Smith, Southfield, Lansing, and other determined and probably future growth, as a matter of fact. Cliff, thanks for spending time with us.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
You're watching the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris Holman. Stick around, there's more ahead.